Well, hey there, you found me. Very good. This is Marci or Tater, and I'm so happy that you're here. I know it's something moving to podcasts after radio. It's easy just to punch the dials and find it, but this is a little bit different, and I know the effort that it took, and I appreciate you for doing it. Thank you. I'm really glad you found me. This is not the John Boy and Billy Big Show, although I wish that it were. I wish that I could reproduce that, but I cannot. It was by itself. It was a unicorn. It was a once-in-a-lifetime kind of show. I was very happy, very blessed to be part of it, but I cannot duplicate that thing no matter how hard I try. And the good news is I can't be duplicated either. So we're going to do this podcast thing. We're doing it once a week, and I think we're going to have some fun. So let's get to it. You know, I was going to have music. I can't talk in the silence. I was in an open school classroom. I got to have noise. Welcome to Tater's Big Show Hangover, one more round. This show is a continuation of me, Tater. And it's also something new. We're going to see where it takes us. So we're definitely going to be talking about stories from my experience of working with the John Boy and Billy Big Show. My 30 years in radio, how different radio is to podcasting. Boy, have I learned a lot in the last few weeks. Sometimes it'll just be me. Sometimes friends will be dropping by. There'll be some familiar voices that you may recall from the past. Sometimes it'll be funny. I'm hoping it'll be a lot of funny. And sometimes thoughtful. I can be deep. I'll probably be both, though. Probably be a good mixture. Laughing through tears is my favorite emotion. I'm not here to recreate anything. Not here to fill that void. I do hope I can fill the void a little bit, but I know how much you guys all have been hurting for them and been missing the show since January 5th. And I'm here to help. Speaking of the end of the show, a lot of people were wondering, I've seen it all over social media, like, what happened? I thought the 31st was the end of the show, and it was the end of the show. True to form, for the 30 years that I was there, Christmas was always a vacation. Christmas Eve show was done, and then everybody took off to go spend with their families, and we're back at the beginning of January after the New Year's. So this was a little different because vacation was coming. Everybody had family plans, and so the last show was the 23rd. A lot of people missed that last show because the affiliates were advertising that they were going to be off on the 31st, which I understood. They're just saying, hey, you know, you won't be hearing best ofs, you won't be hearing encore shows. It's going to be done after the 31st, and they're not coming back. And I think that's where it got a little hazy because I was in denial, as I'm sure a lot of you were in denial. The 23rd was the last show, and Billy was back for that, and he's doing very well. He always has. He has not been sick. Was not able to say that earlier as far as where he was or what he was doing, but he's doing very well. His family is well. He's enjoying his retirement. He got a head start on it, and so John Boy's getting some tips from him on how to navigate this whole retirement thing. And that's what mattered to me, was seeing him happy, but also to be able to hug him again because I have missed him. And his quick wit was right on. It wasn't like he took any time off because that's basically how the show always was. They were just themselves and true performers. So that's what happened on the 23rd. For me, it didn't really sink in. It kind of sunk in on the Saturday show. So, you know, a lot of you know, those who are new to the podcast, I was third banana, fourth banana in the cast of characters in the room. And for the last couple of years, I had been doing the Saturday show, which was like a best of show, but it was a show that we provide on Saturday mornings. I thought my last Saturday show was going to be December 20th. Christmas bits all throughout the whole morning and Christmas beds. And it was my last sign off where I tell everybody to go have fun and enjoy their day. I started to break down. I don't know if it was the Christmas tune that made it so nostalgic, but yeah, I got a little wobbly there at the end saying bye and asking you not to forget about us. Yeah. not my best moment. And then the 23rd, like I said, felt like a holiday show. Everyone was saying goodbye. Everybody was exchanging gifts. It felt too normal. And maybe I was still just kind of dulled to all of it. The 23rd show just felt like we were leaving for Christmas and that we would all be back. And so on January 5th, when I didn't go to work, is when it really hit me. I was right there with you because I know it hit you as well when you tuned in and they weren't there. But it's okay because everything moves on and you're giving all of those new morning shows a chance and let them get their legs under them. I know you've been listening to the same show for 30 plus years, but I don't know. It'd be nice to give them just a little bit of a break. I will be sharing moments behind the scenes that I experienced. My main question everybody would always ask me is, what was it like working with those guys? It must have been the best job in the world. And yeah, it truly was. I mean, I always said it was like hanging out at the 7th grade boys' lunch table, like being privileged to sit there at the table and be stupid silly. And my main goal was to make those two laugh. Well, the three of them, John Boy, Billy, and Pillars. If I could make them laugh, I didn't really even think beyond that. I never got floored by the fact that they had millions of listeners. I was worried about the room. My main goal was to get those guys giggling. So early on, and I'll share more, like I said, as we go on, but early on, I was asked to do a Playhouse before my news update. So this had to be around like 2004. And I had been moved over to news on our flagship station because they had fired all the news directors. And so I was a reader. Definitely was not a reporter. I was a reader. And I now had to do the flagship station that John Boy and Billy were on, and also a couple of the sister stations. Also at this time, I was booking guests, had started booking guests for them in 2000. We had Jay Thomas in the studio. For those of you who don't know the name Jay Thomas, he was on Cheers. He played Carla's boyfriend, I think, and then later husband. He was on Mr. Holland's Opus. And he also, in the 70s, was huge in Charlotte radio on Murphy in the Morning, along with Larry Sprinkle. Hi, Larry. So he was in the studio, and I think he had a project going on in the area and maybe at the Comedy Zone. I can't quite remember that, but he was with us. I was set up to do the news. Now, Playhouse on Fridays supposed to have happened around 7:50, 10 till 8. And we were never running on time, especially when there was a guest in. They wouldn't want to interrupt him and say, we got to wrap it up. We got to break. Jackie comes down to my little newsroom, which was 3 hallways, 2 rights, and a left, into this little news booth that I was in and said, hey, Billy wrote you into the Playhouse and need you to come do it. And I was like, whoa, it's 7:54. And I got to be on the air at 8 o'clock. And she goes, it's only 2 pages, which it was. She had it in her hand. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's perfect. Because I wasn't going to pass up a chance to be on a Playhouse on the show with Jay Thomas doing news that I really, was messing up anyway. So we go down 3 hallways, 2 lefts and 1 right, and I get in there. We start at 7:56. All right. And then Mr. Jay Thomas decides to ad-lib and beef up his part. I'm looking at the clock. It's 7:57, 7:58. I have the punchline. I can't just say my line and then run back down the hallways. I had to stay to give the punchline. I nearly got fired over that, which would have been too bad, but that was my main gig. I mean, doing the news was where my insurance and my bills were being paid. So a lot of talking, a lot of dancing, because I go running down to the booth and I hop in there and the news sounder goes right off right when I hit the microphone button. And next thing I know, the producer's at the door, and I had no excuse. I mean, and before I mean, this is not the first time I ran late. Before I would unplug my microphone and be like, I don't know, I'm talking and it wasn't working. So I did a lot of things to try to get out of trouble. But this one, I was caught red-handed. I believe Randy had to do a lot of talking for me. And then the next thing I know, a couple months later, I'm asked to be on the show. Fantastic! I would like to play for you the Playhouse, to where I was in extreme pain because I was worried about the clock. And I'm sitting there with Jay Thomas from Hollywood. You may also know him from David Letterman. He would do the Lone Ranger joke. Look that up on YouTube. Jay Thomas, Lone Ranger joke, David Letterman. All right, let's get to this Playhouse clip. Quiet on the set. Action.
Welcome to John Boy and Billy Playhouse. Today's episode, The Drugstore. As our story opens, an elderly couple approach the pharmacist at a drugstore in the Brushywood Mall.
Excuse me, are you the pharmacist man?
What's that? Oh, yes, I am. How are you? Yes, I am. I'm the pharmacist. How are you? Yes, I am. How are you, Frank Orangeburger? How? And you are Mr. Mrs. Who?
Oh, we ain't married.
Well, that's all right. You can just do it here on the floor then. Go ahead.
Well,
get on the floor.
not yet anyway.
Would you like a little pill here? There's a little pill. We're having a good time here. How are you?
What?
We're not a big chain, you know.
I'm not used to you talking so much.
Okay, that's all right. You're on line 4. Go ahead. See where it says Marci? Okay.
We're getting hits next month.
Oh, Lobby, well, really, congratulations. What can I do for you two folks?
Well,
by the way, we have some real pick-me-ups here. We have some Acapulco Gold, some Colombian Happy, anything you would like. We have it on special. Go ahead.
Well, that's great. Well, do you sell heart medicine?
No, we don't.
Well, how about...
Yes, we do. Yes, we do sell heart medicine. We certainly do. Does it say that on the door?
Line 6, Marci.
You know what, Marci? You don't do an old person. Go ahead.
Well, how about calcium supplements?
We carry all of the popular brands.
That's all.
No, Marci.
Chester. Well, I thought I was going to go on.
You know
Chester
what?
here.
I would say take 2, but I couldn't take another take of this.
Well, Chester here eats a lot of fried food.
Where's Chester? Is that Chester right
him
there?
over there,
I'm
big
just
guy.
over here, buddy.
Got any of them drugs that'll lower your cholesterol?
Absolutely, I do.
I'll tell you what, partner, I got a touch of rheumatism, too. You got anything that's good for that?
You know, when you see rheumatism spelled for the first time, it throws you, doesn't it? You didn't know it had an H in it, did you? Yes, sir.
Medicine.
We do have the rheumatism medicine. Yes, we do, sir.
Well, Chester says I'm getting a tad forgetful. Says I got that thing where you can't remember stuff. What's it
It's called Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's.
That's it. That's right. Do you carry anything that'll improve your memory?
There are so many vitamin supplements for that.
Oh, you got sleeping pills?
Yes, sir. We do have sleeping pills.
Well, how about blood pressure medicine?
Well, you know we do.
What about that Viagra? You got any of that?
Yes.
Sounds like they got it all, man.
We certainly do. Now, what specifically can we do for you folks today?
Well, we'd like to register here for our wedding gifts.
Alrighty. I'd like to register that this is pretty much the end of my career. By the way,
You were here. We hope you've enjoyed John Boy and Billy Playhouse.
All right.
Tune in again next time when we'll hear the crusty old homeless guy in the mall parking lot say,
Hey, big man, let me hold $1.
Nice working with you. Really quick, I want to thank the John Boy and Billy Big Show for allowing me to play that Playhouse bit for you today in the podcast. Go to the Bitbox at thebigshow.com and you can download that bit. It's called The Drugstore, or any other bit that you are missing right there in the Bitbox for 99 cents. Jay Thomas was a nice guy. You were a very nice guy. Oh, man. And he beat up on us. Oh, my gosh. And I didn't know. He ad-libbed so much that I kind of paused to do my lines. And but that was the joy. That was the fun of it. And my accent did suck, so it did work. Guys, thank you so much for being here for episode 1. I'm telling you. Whew, I was nervous, too. I'm glad to have it under my belt.